What's up? Welcome to another one of why this episode is why blank is the perfect episode for Dexter installment. Last time we did the British invasion for season 2 finale of Dexter, and now we will be doing All in the Family, season 3, episode 4 of Dexter. So yeah. So this is season 3, episode 4 of Dexter. So this episode starts off with Dexter talking about how in his life he's always had to play, how he and Deb has always assigned him roles: aliens, treacherous Germans, other stuff. And Dexter's talking to Rita, basically like, "Hey, Dexter, should we tell Lester and Cody that they're having a baby?" Well, actually, yeah. Why am I pretending you guys are shocked? You obviously had to see my season 3 recap. So yeah, so they basically tell Aster and Cody, and Dexter's like, "Cody, what do you guys want?" And Cody's like, "A new dog." And Dexter's like, "I'll get you a puppy and a dog." And then Aster questions how they're not even married. But guess what, Aster? You don't have to be married to have a baby. So, yeah. You can be having a baby and not be married. So, yeah, so Aster pulls out the little, she's upset, but pretends to be not fine thing. So Dexter starts questioning, maybe he and Rita should get married. And that's basically his whole dilemma for the entire episode. Basically, should he and Rita get married? And Rita basically says to Dexter, "Hey, the only reason she and Paul got married was because she was pregnant with Aster and Cody. And she wants to get married out of love. Not just because she's pregnant." Yeah. Yeah, that's the entire thing. That's the entire thing of the episode. So Dexter's talking with Miguel Prado about how. So then Ramon shows up, Miguel Prado's brother, and he wants revenge on the person that killed his brother, Oscar, not knowing that Dexter was the one that accidentally killed him. So yeah, so Dexter is like, "Hey, I gotta be able to convince Miguel that Ramon is bad news." So meanwhile, one of Miguel's nephews complains about Aster not letting him share. And Dexter goes to confront Aster about it, and Aster's like, "So you're my dad? Leave me alone." And Aster's like, and then Rita's like, "Aster, apologize, Dexter." But Aster just gets up and leaves, and Dexter's like, Aster is playing a role too of the angry one, the disillusioned preteen, and other one. So yeah, Aster really burned Dexter there. So meanwhile at Miami Metro is looking for Freebo, not knowing that Dexter actually killed him. Yeah, not knowing that Dexter actually killed him in the last episode. They're just looking for him because they think that he's the most responsible for the death of Oscar Prado's brother. And yeah, these police departments couldn't figure out that Dexter's the heart butcher. They cannot figure out that Dexter killed Freebo. Dexter is just able to figure out what's going on. So yeah, so they bring in a random lady they bring in a lady whose husband got murdered, and she is played by Betsy Kellman. Yeah, if you all remember Betsy Kellman from Better Call Saul, That's the actress who played her. Kind of funny, but yeah, but kind of funny. So yeah, so Quinn, the new guy who is basically Dokes too, but this time he doesn't have all the hate for Dexter. He's basically just the replacement for Dokes because since Dokes died at the end of the last season, he's basically just Dokes new because we don't have Dokes anymore. So yeah. So he basically confronts Deb about. Can we go? Yeah. So he basically confronts Deb. So yeah. So Deb is like. So he basically gets all basically involves Deb. You know. Yeah, and there's also Yuki Yamato who basically wants to team up with Deb to take down Quinn. That's her whole deal. Deb doesn't want to do it, and she basically tries to text Deb and tell Deb basically, hey, team up with me to take down Quinn because for some reason she has a thing against Quinn. I guess we'll have to find out why she has this thing against Quinn. She just does. Why though? Why does she have this thing against Quinn? Who knows? So yeah. So Dexter tells Deb that Dexter decides to tell Deb that told Deb that, Rhea is pregnant, and now Dexter decides that it basically is like he doesn't know if he wants to be a part of his son's life, but Deb's like, come on, bro, you really don't you shouldn't really abandon your kid. Well, we all know Billy Batson's mom did that in Shazam. She didn't care that she abandoned her kid. I know, a movie, but still. But anyway, it just reminded me of that. So anyway, what happens is that Dexter decides to fight. Not fight, but he decides to, go yeah. So basically, so Dexter's still in his one-man mission to convince Miguel that that Ramon Prado is bad news. So he goes to Ramon Prado. So he goes to Ramon Prado and is like, hey, Ramon Prado. He basically called Ramon Prado pretending to be a guy that knows where Freebo is. So Ramon Freebo shows up at the police department, confronting them about how a guy calling them where Freebo is, and he's like, hey, we'll contact this guy saying, hey, we'll contact this guy, but he's like, it's anonymous, and the Dexter's over here saying, I guess I forgot to leave my name. I love Dexter. So yeah. So as Deb continues to hang out with Anton, Quinn's CI, played by everyone's favorite actor, David Ramsey. Actually, is he only my favorite actor? I just loved him as John Diggle. That was my main highlight from watching this season, is that he was in it. If you haven't seen my recap for season 2, I was really hyped to know that David Ramsey, who plays John Diggle, was in this season. And he is one of my, even though he's not a main character, he shows up sometimes. He still brings his best acting to the role, just like he does as John Diggle on Arrow. So, yeah, so Deb's kind of, Deb confronts him and he smokes a joint, even though she told him not to, and arrests him. And Quinn's obviously mad that Deb would go in to arrest his CI. And she's like, why do you keep calling me your CI? Like there's something, is there something you're not telling us? And then Sergeant Batista comes over, and he's like, Sergeant Angel comes over, and he's like, hey, Deb arrested my CI. And he's like, why would you do that? And he's like, because he smoked a joint, because I told him not to. And he's like, are you okay with that? And he's like, yeah. So then Angel tells him, let him go. So, yeah. So, yeah, speaking of Angel's love life, if you even care about it, he goes to a place where he meets a woman who thinks he's some hooker. But then she sees his sergeant badge and is like, hey, get out of here, sergeant. And pretends to be angry at him to get him out of there. So, yeah, so the next day he randomly runs into her at the police station, and because she reveals that she works for Miami Metro Vice, and yeah, and she really likes him. But not really, because so she's like, hey, and he reveals that, that his wife divorced him, and he's having trouble seeing his daughter, and, having trouble seeing his daughter, and all that stuff. So, but then she's like, yeah, but keep your plans to yourself, and we'll be cool. So, yeah. So then she leaves. So, yeah. So Aster's mad at Rita because, Aster's a preteen, so Rita, but then they're at Rita's job, which we get to see. There's this annoying customer who continues to act until Rita calls her the B word, which causes the manager to be like, hey, Rita, we're having a lot of problems with you this week, with you being sick. So, with you calling in sick every time this week. So, yeah, get your butt out of here. You're fired. Yeah, Rita's fired from her job. So what happens is that Rita complains to Dexter, and, Dexter's like, hey, maybe we should get married. But then she throws up, which, it's not marrying him, but it's something else. So, about marrying. So Dexter decides, so Dexter's hanging out with Miguel Prado, and his brother Ramon calls him. Dexter tried to fake Ramon out again by using this random Texas accent, because Dexter really wants to manipulate Miguel into. So he goes with Miguel to see Ramon, and Ramon's basically mad that Dexter's there, and is like, Ramon doesn't want to leave, so Dexter tries to get this random bartender guy, basically saying, hey, this random guy over here touched this woman. So, yeah, that causes the guy to go over to stop him. Ramon beats that guy up because, he's a terrible person. Not the guy that Dexter sent. Ramon's a terrible person. So what happened? So Dexter's like, I'm sorry, I manipulated Ramon like this. So, yeah, but then he and Miguel talk, and Miguel's like, hey, I have you now, and yeah. So meanwhile, with the lady case, the lady played by Betsy Kelman case, she's really getting into Quinn and Deb's really trying to get her answers. She goes over the line, so Quinn's like, hey, get out of here. So, yeah, but they really believe that Quinn's, like using her, that she's using Quinn. So Dexter hears one of her here's what he says, and he's like, maybe I'll try this on Rita. So that night he goes to Rita's house and uses exactly what she did, but says in his own way about how he wants to be with Rita all the time and try to get Sundays with her kids. And he's like, hey, Asper and Cody, I really want to be with you. So she's like, yes, Dexter, we will marry you. Yes, she says we will. I don't get why. Does that mean like she's saying that Dexter's married into her family? I have no idea. So Yuki tries to call Deb again, and Deb's like, hey, lady, I'm still not doing your job for you. So yeah. So yeah. But alright, Taylor. But anyway, that's kind of where the episode ends. I like this episode. But anyway, we'll be doing the next episode of Dexter as the next perfect one, not season 4. But anyway, that's it for this video, and I'll see you next time for episode 5 of season 3. See you next time.